breaking news.
But we're getting a new story, breaking news coming into the situation right now. I want to go to our senior White House correspondent, Ed Henry. He's working the story for us. And we've learned of a major announcement expected from the president-elect, and it's got some major political ramifications.
That's right, Wolf. A second Republican in the Obama cabinet. You know, he's been talking about doing that before. He's been questioned about why he hasn't picked any other Republicans beyond Robert Gates as defense secretary staying on. CNN has now learned from two Democratic officials that retiring Republican Congressman Ray LaHood of Illinois will be named transportation secretary as soon as tomorrow when another press conference with the president-elect is scheduled. What's interesting is that this is yet another Illinois politician being brought into the team. Remember, yesterday as education secretary, the Chicago schools chancellor brought in, and my colleague, our national political correspondent, Jessica Yellen, has been working this story as well. She's just gotten some quick reaction from Congressman Tim Johnson, a Republican of Illinois, saying, quote, "I think Ray has the ability to work both sides of the aisle well. He's an extraordinary, talented legislator from Illinois, so from a provincial standpoint, that would meet our needs as well." Obviously, people in the Illinois delegation will be happy, but I think also when Tim Johnson mentions there the bipartisanship, you'll remember Ray LaHood really came to fame one time really in the limelight during the impeachment drama with Bill Clinton. Because of his fairness, his bipartisanship, Ray LaHood was selected by House leaders to preside over the House impeachment debate. You see his face there. He was a very familiar face, you'll remember, from covering that, Wolf, and now a very bipartisan figure being brought into the cabinet as transportation secretary, Wolf.
I don't remember, though, how he voted on the impeachment resolution in the House, but we're going to check that. I'm sure you don't remember either, do you?
It's been a few years.
Yeah.
I honestly can't remember.
I'm going to try to find out, and we'll get the answer to that, how he voted on the impeachment of Bill Clinton back in 1998 when that resolution in the House was approved. It went to the Senate where there was a trial. He was acquitted and wasn't forced to leave the presidency. All right, but this does set the stage for an effort on the part of the president-elect right now to show that he's trying to reach out and not only bring in a lot of Democrats, more moderate Democrats, more liberal Democrats, but also bringing in some Republicans. And I think that's a powerful message he's trying to send out.
It certainly is. He's trying to show that he's going to have a bipartisan team. Again, he's gotten some pressure to actually follow through on that because after Robert Gates, this is only the second one. And as you've been noting during the show, he's running out of spots. The only other spot after this will be Labor Secretary. And we obviously do not expect that that would be a Republican. It's going to be a liberal Democrat almost for sure. And then secondly, you've also been talking about how the intelligence posts are still out there, not cabinet level, but the Director of National Intelligence, CIA Director, they're important posts. We'll see whether he reaches across the aisle there, Wolf.
All right, thanks very much, Ed Henry, with the news. Important news. Let's talk about this and more with CNN political contributor, the Democratic strategist Donna Brazile, and Republican strategist John Fury. You once worked for Ray LaHood back in your days in the House of Representatives.
He gave me my first raise on the Hill. That's why I really love Ray. I'm glad he got a job. He's been looking for one. He's a terrific choice for Barack Obama. He's smart. He understands transportation issues, having been on the committee. He's extraordinarily bipartisan. He led all the bipartisan retreats back when we tried to be bipartisan in the House. He did oversee impeachment, but he did it in a fair manner.
How did he vote? Remember how
I think he voted for it, but he was very fair with the gavel, and I think Democrats really appreciate it. He's got very strong connections on both sides of the aisle. I think it's a terrific choice for Barack Obama.
All right, Donna, what do you think?
I think he's a great choice. I remember the congressman from my tenure on Capitol Hill. He's a fair player, so I think President-elect Obama was wise in choosing him.
I know he's also had a good relationship with Rahm Emanuel, who's soon going to be the former congressman from Illinois, so presumably that didn't hurt his chances. It does send out a message from the president-elect. You know what? He realizes that he was elected. He got more than 50% of the vote, but the Republicans, I think John McCain, he got about 47% of the vote. And so if he wants the country to unite, he's got to do more than just talk about it.
As you recall, Wolf, on election night, he extended an olive branch to those who did not vote for him. He said, "You may not have voted for me, but I will listen to you." Clearly, he's continuing that effort.
He keeps saying, Barack Obama, the president-elect, he's frustrated. He can't release all this information because the U.S. Attorney, Patrick Fitzgerald, has asked him, hold off, next week you can do it, but I need this time. How does that sound to you?
You know, as someone who used to be a press secretary and gets so frustrated when the lawyers wouldn't let us say something, it's a horrible PR for Barack Obama, but the lawyers say don't say anything, you really have no choice. So I kind of feel for him. It's really kind of hurt his early transition, although this choice, I think, helps his transition. As someone who cares about PR, this is bad for PR, but I think it's the right legal choice.
But a lot of people will understand if, if the U.S. attorney who's got a major case involving the embattled governor of Illinois, and he says to the president-elect, hold off. Can you just wait a week? I know it'll cause you a little grief with some anxious reporters out there. It sort of makes a lot of sense.
Look like everybody's ready to go on vacation, so they're telling the President-elect Obama, hurry up, we want to go on vacation. But the truth is the U.S. attorney has also issued some statement to the lawmakers in Illinois to hold off on calling witnesses. I'm confident that President-elect Obama will give us all of the information, lay out all of the details so that we can enjoy our holiday season.
Yeah, there was an interesting article in the Washington Post by Congressman Emanuel Cleaver II, an African-American congressman from Missouri, Democrat, and he writes this to his fellow African-Americans in part. He says, I think every African-American supporter of Obama can safely assume that Obama will do everything within his power to create a level playing field for all Americans by ensuring that they have a government that is just and fair. But it is important to note that Obama will not be the nation's highest profile civil rights leader. He will be leader of the free world. He's trying to reassure African Americans out there, you know what? He's not simply going to do whatever you want because he has a responsibility as president of the United States.
Well, if I was in Milwaukee last week and I found myself doing the same thing and talking to a predominantly black audience, and that is I wasn't downplaying expectations. I say, look, African Americans want what all Americans want. We want good paying jobs. We want an economy that is stabilized. But at the same time, he's not the black president. He's our president, the president of the United States. And I think African Americans understand that. Look, I would love to have 40 acres and a mule. I think my family was waiting for that too. But I'm going to just put that aside and just want a good government.
What do you think, John?
Well, I think managing expectations is extraordinarily important for any president. I think Cleaver's done a really good job of helping President Barack Obama manage those expectations. Things are not going to change overnight in this country, and so some people don't want to have change overnight. So I think for him, it's a very good idea to try to help manage those expectations.
I think everybody's going to calm down and see what happens. It's not going to change the world in 24 or 48 hours. It takes a while.
And look, already George Bush is dancing. He's so happy to be leaving Washington, D.C., so we might already have our black president up there. We don't know.
All right, Donna. Thanks very much. John, thank you. A plea for mercy by the parents of the man known as